Today on Get to the Shoppa!
We are in Caldwell, New Jersey.
Gotham Comics.
So let's hear from the store's owner, Jameson, about this place's origin story.
My origin story is I got roughed up a lot when I was a kid, and it really sucked. And comics were my escape. I opened up in 2016. I had just finished winding down my previous company. My father had a very bad heart attack. And, we started this, and it was something my father collected them too. He always used to find comics for me. He passed away just a couple of years ago. And, it was a real joy for both of us. It was something that brought us closer together.
So getting into back issues, this place is pretty cool. I was really impressed with the layout here. You want to tell me about that?
Yeah, it probably had one of the better organizations for back issues that we've seen anywhere. Perfectly lined in boxes, almost the same amount of books in each box as well. That wasn't like too tight or too loose. Everything had individual labels separating volumes. So sometimes you're like, there's so many Punisher volumes, but each one it was like volume 1, volume 2 with the years. Same thing with Spider-Man, everything broken down. So if you're trying to fill in back issues, you could easily find the year you're going through, and everything was in order.
Alphabetically, numerically. They had the letter right outside of each box.
Giant A right on the front.
Never know with these Star Wars books when these characters are going to pop back up in Disney, so scooping up a lot of those lately. He definitely had some goodies in there. Happy with that.
It was neat that he was pulling some of that stuff out of the dollar bin too. This guy knows what's in his dollar bin.
Yeah, he actually had a reasonably priced issue too, and he goes, I have this actually in the dollar bin, so he was really friendly.
Rarely anyone knows what's in a dollar bin, let alone go to the specific one and be like, zip, here you go.
Stamp the boards. I even match the font and the year and information engraved for the book. I started breaking down the volumes for people.
Oh, it's really cool. Yeah, it's really easy to find books here.
The hardest thing is just deciding what stays in the store and what doesn't. I have to cull a lot of just runs that nobody has any interest in.
Yeah.
Like Robin will take, it's like 130 issues to the first run of Robin. I've never had anyone come in and say, I'm looking for 127, do you have it? But I really enjoyed the archival nature of his store and in general. I like that. I think of this more like being a librarian, All I do is sort, check, and maintain.
This was one of the first stores I've been to that had this many comics, but then the boxes themselves were not very tight. It allowed you enough room. You could tell that the owner, Jameson, goes through these back issue boxes.
He meticulously goes through
them. All the time, adds to them from his stock, and really takes care of making sure that it's a really great shopping experience. So because of that, we're going to give the grade for the back issues. We're going to give it an 8. It's the best thing about this store is the back issues for me, personally. Love the back issues. If you're into fill-in runs, this is the place to come to fill your runs.
Fill your runs.
So moving on into the wall books, this place did have a wall. It's got some books that are older on the wall. He had a lot of graded Superman and Batman and Detective, if that's your thing.
Actually, I found more of the wall books in a box. Didn't have enough room on the walls for them. I found the first Punisher.
We thought that there was a lot of ways to spend money into the store if you're into wall books. Not as many key issues per se, but they did have them. So for the score for the wall books, we're going to give it somewhere like a 6, not a 7, maybe probably around a 6 for this. We do a thing where we give you a superpower, but then we get to pick the drawback of that superpower.
All right, sure.
So if you could have any superpower in the world, what would the superpower that you'd want be?
Like psychokinesis or telepathy. Like Jean Grey. Something like
telepathy. Okay, you get telepathy, but you can only read the minds of people that are talking shit about you.
Dude didn't have any Hawkeye issues. Wish this guy had more Superboy.
That is an acceptable answer. While I will not sleep well, I would like to know.
Moving into current issues, this place has current issues. They have all the current issues that you expect to have. If you're local to Caldwell, New Jersey, or around Caldwell, they have the bins so that you can get stuff saved. That's very important, especially nowadays with speckers out there, specking books. Like if you're reading Thor and then all of a sudden there's a first appearance in Thor, you don't want to miss it. So this place will allow you to hold books here. Thumbs up on that. Any other thoughts on current issues?
What I liked about the current issues is that you could almost go back a full year of a current run and find the entire run of issues. So one example was Suicide Squad. They actually just finished the run at 15, I was able to flip back all the way to issue 2, which is obviously over a year ago, which is pretty cool. That, like, if you want to get late in on a run or get late in on a current issue, you could actually come here and yeah, start from the beginning almost.
I thought you were saying get laid on a run, and I thought that you were talking about Wonder Woman.
You want to get late in on a run.
And that guy from Zap Comics with the Wonder Woman.
And that'll get me laid?
We're gonna give it a 7 because you know, they've got them, but they don't have as much as some of the other stores. But again, as a local, you just make sure you get a box, no
Yeah.
problems at all. That's why I think the score is 7, because anybody that can pull books for you, that's a store you want to be shopping at if you're a local. They'll
Right.
hold books for you. So moving into toys, well, what'd you think?
Yeah, as far as toys go, I think it was a pretty solid offering. You know, your Marvel Selects, there's some Star Wars guys, reaction figures I think I saw in there. And also, as a staple, as many other stores have, wall of Funko Pop figures there. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Hot item.
a solid, definitely a solid offering as far as toys go.
Yeah.
And buffs.
They
There's some
have
buffs
toys
in there.
here.
Yeah.
They didn't have like individual toys or 80s toys like we've seen from like a Paradox or something like that. They,
Right, as far as toys go, nothing, not too much retro toys.
Yeah.
Even the Star Wars figures, you're not gonna find like original 70s, early 80s figures, more like the Power of the Force,
New.
mid-90s stuff, kinda.
Yeah,
Star
new
Wars
and
guy.
90s.
Had your Pokemon, we saw a young kid with his dad get some Pokemon.
So as far as toys and collectibles and figures and the cards and stuff go, they have some, not a huge amount. So we're gonna give a respectable score of 6 for that. Moving into Ambiance. I thought personally, just like the back issues, that is another category where this place shined. What did you think about Ambiance, Jesse?
This shop definitely had a little bit of spicy new flavors that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
The masks, Halloween masks.
Jameson used to have a Halloween store, we will point out, so there is an entire line of all these crazy cool looking Halloween masks that he brought over from his old shop that he has on display.
The old ones I used to sell that hang on the sales floor, I watched every single kid who tried them on shove their tongue through the mouth hole. And then I would watch the next kid do it again after that. And I would stare at them and be like, ha 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 ha, yeah, someone just put their mouth in that.
I've never met Jameson before, first time here. Immediately, Star Wars bromance between Jameson and I. These guys are almost covering their ears. I mean, we went to like...
They pulled out their lightsabers and were just comparing
It was getting to that
knowledge.
point. I mean, we at least a half-hour conversation with Jameson in detail, getting really Star Wars nerdy. But that was really enjoyable for me. I think Jameson enjoyed it. That was really, really fun. He had an arcade machine back there, not in use, but that was interesting. The basement / dungeon was interesting. I asked him perhaps maybe he has like a Rancor down there. Right by the exit, he's got a little pin display, $1 for a pin. Lots of them, all comic books. You had your Wolverine, a lot of Spider-Man, Star Wars.
All custom made.
So those pins, very interesting, something we haven't seen yet.
So for score for Ambiance, this place is awesome. The ambiance is awesome. We're gonna give it an 8 because it's a really cool place to be. All right, guys. So this place, Gotham Comics, Caldwell, New Jersey. We would appreciate it if in your tour of New Jersey comic stores, you make your way here because Jameson's really cool. He had a really terrible thing happen to his last store, but he got through it and he opened up this store for the love of comics and horror. So let's take a look at these final scores overall. Just make sure that if you're in this area, you stop by and spend some money here because this guy's really cool, the shop's really cool, and we definitely recommend this one.
Hey, I'm Jameson from Gotham Comics in Caldwell. Get to the Shoppa!
This guy is so ugly, people want to buy a mask of him for Halloween.
Worse than Attack of the Clones this video will be. I don't think this guy has enough sex appeal to get us some new subscribers.